Thanks, bud.
All right. Welcome to Living by Oak Values. I'm Rob, and I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Gary, better known as the Superior Mailman. If you haven't seen it, check out his TikTok videos. Together, we are going to be delivering real talk, strong values, and few laughs along the way. This show is where grit meets growth, where values aren't just talked about, they're lived. We're going to dive deep into stories that challenge, moments that inspire, and a few laughs that remind us that we're all human trying to figure it out. Whether you've been with us from the start, episode 1, or you're just now tuning in to season 2, welcome to the crew. Grab your free toolbox on our website, northmancoaching.com, and stay updated with everything that we're got going on.
All right,
And I
my
went
turn.
home.
Sorry. Oh, looking at my phone. My bad. We are real, raw, and ready to rebuild. And tonight we are bringing it live. Let's dive in and make this one unforgettable. We are diving
Now,
in. We're diving into playfulness, which might be the most underrated life value you could be ignoring.
you want to talk about playfulness.
Do I? I don't know.
Having mistakes and being real is sometimes the best way to be playful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Don't always be serious.
Gotcha. I have an
Uh,
issue with that. I tend to be too serious sometimes.
yes, yeah, yeah. Well, I used to be too playful. I didn't take anything serious. And now, after I'm learning better, I'm trying to be much more thoughtful when I'm playing around with people. Um, the two people that I play around with the most, well, actually, I don't play around with them, but I banter and do is I try to do it with my daughter. I try to be funny, humorous with her. My girlfriend. I and we'll talk about that later, how to be a little playful with people. And then, of course, the other man sitting right here in front of us, Gary, the superior mailman.
Yes, the guy who's not very playful.
Not very playful. Yeah.
So I just want to throw out that I didn't understand the importance of playfulness. I played a lot as a kid. And when I say kid, I mean up till I was like probably 38 when I decided to be an adult. And once I started chasing dreams or passions that I had, I turned to serious. Like everything was just click serious. Let's get serious. There's no time for messing around. Get on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And after talking to you while we're prepping for this, I think that that has actually hindered me a little bit by not being playful enough.
Go deeper into that. How has it hindered you? Tell the listeners, like, what?
Well, I think it. All right, so I think it hindered me because, well, I got serious with work stuff, and then
Mm-hmm.
I got married and I had my daughter, and we used to play all the time. Me and her, we played Barbies together. We played out in the snow. We did everything. We played together 24/7. And my ex-wife got so mad all the time because I was choosing my daughter over her.
Mm.
So, and then, which didn't bother me at all. I would choose my daughter any day of the week to this day. But when we got divorced, I was like, wow, maybe I do play too much.
Mm.
So I think that once I got serious about my profession, whichever profession that might be, and then with the divorce, like it shut the playfulness down pretty hard.
Yeah, I can say my story is very similar to yours. I thought playfulness was like a luxury. Um, like I had all the time in the world. Why not be playful? I joked around. My granddad was a big jokester, trickster, and so like I love to play jokes. Uh, but after divorce, I realized it was like I needed to take life seriously to get better. And I did for a while, especially for a long while, for what, 2 years. I had to take life seriously so that I could heal from my past.
Okay.
And then I realized what I and everybody kept saying, what is it? You create your own joy in your life, something in that nature.
Well, you're responsible for it anyway, for sure.
Yes, yes. And it was then that I realized it's like, but I don't want to be joyful. I just want to live a comfortable life. And it didn't click until later on when I'm trying to figure out how to be a good father to my daughter or starting a newer relationship, how important being playful is.
Hmm.
That it's not just joy, but it's part of building a great relationship. Me and you are always bantering back and forth on the phone, and
Sure.
that's
Yeah.
helped us build a better relationship.
Absolutely.
So, um, when was the last time you did something just for fun, no purpose, and it didn't have to be productive?
Wow. You're killing me here, Smalls. I don't know. Just for fun.
Just for fun, no purpose, don't have to be productive.
Man, can we come back? Can we go ask someone else first?
Oh, for
um,
me,
Go ahead.
it was hard. It was one of those. Now sometimes I just lay in the grass, almost like it's resting, but at the same time I watch cartoons with my daughter. I do all these little things. I don't feel productive at all. There's no purpose in sitting there playing video games with my daughter, but
Right.
I'm
Okay.
bonding with her.
I would say the last time I did something that had no purpose, that was just for pure enjoyment, was probably last summer when with surfing with my daughter.
Mm.
Other than that, I don't know. I'm having a hard time with that one. I've been taking everything very seriously lately.
Mm.
So, hmm. So what would you tell me or someone else who thinks that playfulness is childish or unproductive?
It's not. It's probably very good for your mental health. And for you to be rigid and like a stone wall,
Hmm.
that's probably more detrimental. And a lot of the guys in our group always talk about being stoic,
Hmm.
but we all listen to these coaches that are not stoic. They're very playful with their words. They are, they're not very rigid. They show emotions, and that's another thing is that when you become playful, you start understanding emotions where I had a hard time with emotions. So,
So are you saying that to be stoic is to not be playful?
no, a lot of us associate being stoic and not being playful. Very
Right.
rigid stoicism versus how can I be more playful and get out, have fun, get out and do something that you want to do. It doesn't have to have a purpose. It doesn't have to be leading to a goal.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just out there to have fun.
Okay. Hmm.
You have any more questions?
Um, I don't at the moment. You got anything for me?
Well,
You know what?
are you more playful? Because I notice you're playful with me, but are you playful at work? Because that's actually the biggest area where I stopped being playful.
So I'd say I'm definitely playful,
Hmm.
but there's a purpose to a lot of things I do. Like the other day, I did the ice challenge.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
playful. but I did it for a reason. So there was a purpose, there was a reason behind it, and it wasn't for fun. I knew it would be fun, possibly enjoyable, and it was.
Did you
So
have fun?
yeah, I did. So it was
Mm.
playful, it was worth it, but there was a purpose behind it. So I almost chalked it up as work,
Mm.
if that makes sense.
It does. It does.
So, and I was going to tell you earlier that since my divorce, I don't consider myself very playful. Like I'm very serious
Mhm.
for the most part. But I think that's in my head. Like I know
Mm.
that I'm not very playful on the romantic side of things. And I think that's being shut down. And I have to. That's my next thing I'm going to be working on is that. But I recall when I first got divorced, me and my buddy, we went to a party, and we were just having a good old time. We were playing cornhole, and there was another guy who was like, "Man, you guys are so much fun and awesome. It must be so cool to be you guys. I want to hang out with you guys." And we're like, "We're just playing cornhole.
Hmm.
We're not fun." I guess we were fun. I don't know.
Yeah. So why are you not using it in today?
Today I'm too busy for that. You forgot we have the podcast and we have the coaching and we have the all the videos we got to do and the classes we're setting up. Man, it's hard to find time for fun.
Yeah, and I think that might be a mix up, is that being playful doesn't always equal fun.
Right.
Sometimes being playful is like in a girlfriend boyfriend relationship. Sometimes it's you do it to make the other person have fun,
Okay.
not for you to have fun. I mean, it is fun, but it's more to create excitement on their end instead of your end.
Right.
You're being playful so that they'll change their mindset and become playful with you.
Gotcha. Well, that's my next thing I'm going to be working on is that.
Yep, yep.
So,
Yeah. What was I was talking about work. I
yeah.
used to love April Fools,
Okay. And
and
not anymore?
and and I used to play jokes on everybody in the office, and everybody hated it. Honest the truth. I
Okay.
mean, everybody hated it, and I think, and I used to be that. I love the stir the pot. I love, but was that truly playfulness, or was that just having fun?
I think April Fools is just having fun.
Mm,
Okay. I
yeah.
actually don't enjoy April Fools because I'm gullible and I read the stories online and stuff. I'm like, oh my
Ah,
God, this band is breaking up or this thing is going on. And then I look at it, I'm like, oh, published on April 1st. I saw like Aerosmith and somebody else were coming to concert together. I was like, wow. And then I was like, wait, that's not real. So yeah, I don't know. April Fools kind of gets me because I'm gullible. But I do think that being playful, I have always associated it uh, uh, with fun and not just and for a purpose. If that makes sense.
yes, yeah.
So if I wasn't having fun, then it wasn't playful.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
that is that's like I said twice now, right? That is the next thing because I think that's what I'm missing on, and a lot of points in my life is being more playful.
Mm. So, um, let me think about this.
What are you thinking about?
How could you start being more playful? What is a few things that you could start adding into your life to be more playful? Because That's not something that I could say, hey, naturally add playfulness into your life. How
So
would
what can
you
I start
add?
doing right now? I have no idea. I have to work on that one. What
Why
would
are
you
you
tell me since you're
why are you
playful and I'm
not
not?
being playful in this podcast?
I'm being very playful.
Uh,
You want me to like jump
okay,
around and dance?
well, that that's kind of it. That is kind of teasing is playfulness.
Yeah.
Telling jokes. I know you like to tell jokes. Um,
You know, I
I
think.
was
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I
Go.
think that I think I have to be comfortable because I do tell a lot of jokes, but I can tell them to you
Mm-hmm.
because I know that you're going to receive them well or the way that that it's
Mm,
intended. And I think that actually this isn't the problem. I think because a lot of people these days take things so personally
true.
that my jokes are sometimes a little raw and they come off the wrong way. And instead of having a good time, I've just offended somebody.
Mm, yeah.
So that I think that's my problem. Is that people nowadays are way too offended or offended way too easily. So I just take a different path so I don't bother.
So if other people are taking it too seriously,
Mhm.
why are you? Part of being playfulness is not taking stuff seriously.
I don't take a lot. There's things I don't take seriously, but I have a hard time joking around or being playful with people that I am not comfortable with.
Mm.
So
Hmm. So how can you be more spontaneous with people you're not?
let's circle back on that next week, and I will tell you.
Oh, okay.
That's how I'm going to be working on that. We'll have to have playfulness part two
Playfulness part two.
after Idaho.
Oh, but for people out there, to me, me and Gary were talking, is using playfulness in dating. And I remember a story that one of the guys tells me that when he's dating, he pretends to be somebody else. They both put on this act of one's a doctor or one's the patient, and he calls and he says, "Hey, you have a dentist appointment. I need to see a checkup. Can you go ahead and send me a picture? Blah 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 blah." And he's leaving her voicemails as if he's making an appointment for a patient to be the doctor, and he plays these role playing games with her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that playfulness just bonds them closer together.
Okay.
And sometimes being spontaneous, like just out of the blue, say, "Hey, um, I want you to wear red today," or I don't know. Uh, Actually, now I'm not very spontaneous, am I? I came up with a freaking these bullet points, and now I'm not spontaneous anymore. Uh, Hmm, that's a good
Hmm.
question. How can you be spontaneous in a relationship?
It's a good question. You know what though? I was just thinking that I have been playful in relationships because you
Hmm.
just triggered something. And when I was in the woman I'm dating now, we had broken up, but we had dating previously. We went to a restaurant and we changed our names, and
Hmm.
we were ordering all kinds of weird food, and it was just the community the conversation we had, changing our names, and just we were being very very goofy. It was a good time
Yeah.
actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was fun.
Um, it was a guy I was coaching the other day.
Okay.
His previous relationship, they used to argue over stuff, just to argue. And that it became their playful banner back and forth. I don't even know if they were fake arguing, just to argue over something.
Okay.
So, yeah. Actually, I have started to watch a lot of romantic couples do the stupid Facebook reels or YouTube reels.
Okay.
And it's the two couples that put on a little funny skit of them arguing about something.
Sure.
Those are actually pretty funny. How they're being playful, and you know they're acting.
Right.
So, but they're bonding because they're being playful.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that is, like I said, that is definitely my next step in my
Hmm.
progression forward.
And anybody out there who thinks they need help learning how to be playful,
Me.
tag, well, tag a friend.
Right, that was funny. That was
And
playful, right?
it was playful. Very good job. And
Thank
reach out to us. Tell them to reach out to us any way they can. We are on YouTube. Gary is the Superior Man on TikTok. And even join our men's group Thursdays at 7 Eastern Time
you. Yes.
on our website, northmancoaching.com. Um, they it's not something to be scared of. Playfulness is something that will make her more attractive to you.
Yes. I
And
agree
go
after
ahead,
hearing
Gary.
what you had just said.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you have to understand, you can see why I was shut down on playfulness. Because it
I
was,
mean, a lot of guys are. Like
yeah,
even
and
I, yeah.
yeah, I think divorce really did it for me. And then just being, with everything I got going on, I'm trying to be as serious as I can to get things going here. And I think I might have forgotten a key component in life.
But it's also society. I know Brene Brown talks about how men, women, and worthiness, how men are expected to be the white knight on the horse. If they fall down, women lose respect for them.
Okay.
And it could be that part of that playfulness is that we act dead and she's starting to lose respect because society says guys aren't supposed to act like little boys. They're
Mhm.
supposed to act like men.
Stoic.
Stoic. Yeah, back to the stoic, yeah. Um but yeah. Um
It's funny. Well, my video today that I did for the Superior Mailman, I was talking
mhm,
about being having a hard front and a soft back, and that was being
yeah.
stoic, but also being in touch with your emotions and being able to be playful, be understanding while being serious, and that a real man can balance all that out.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that is what I'm working on. I want to be a real man.
Yep, yep, yep.
That was playfulness again. You like that?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. Anyway, so big things are coming, guys. We have new episodes. We have special guests coming, powerful topics that you don't want to miss. So please subscribe to our website today and stay in the loop. We have more live shows, more real time chat interactions, and way more energy. So, and we're looking for you guys out there. If you or someone you know has a powerful story, and every story is powerful, we want you to share it with us. We want to hear from you. So let's build something unforgettable together.
All right. And that's a wrap. We've spent a year building something real and we're just now getting started. Thank you for hanging out with us today and walking this journey with us. Here's to year two, and we're rooted deeper and reaching higher. We would love it if you could leave us an honest review, share with somebody who might need to hear this today. Oh, and your story is worth sharing. Why not be a guest on the show? Reach out to us and join us next week for another inspiring episode. Until then, keep embracing your values and stay authentic.